This is a live look at our control room. Director Elston hovering over the buttons precariously. He could press any of them. This whole show could go down in ruin.
Please don't do that.
He won't. Discretion is the better part of valor, Big E. Good morning, guys. How many of you stayed up late to watch WrestleMania last night? It's like a 7-hour and 45-minute show.
Wow, really?
2 p.m. was the start of the pre-show. It didn't end until almost 9:30.
Oh my gosh, look at here I go.
Madness!
Madness.
I won't
the March
spoil it
Madness
for any
is
of you.
over.
Ronda Rousey broke her hand, though. She's going to be out of action for a while. She's also going to have some kids, I think. That's going to keep her out longer than the broken hand.
Wow.
Did she really break her
Yeah,
hand?
she legitimately broke her hand last night.
I don't believe it.
It's you know, you can get hurt doing things that aren't like real sports, right? You could get hurt at the Weather Center.
I fell on my back.
Well, was it a real back injury?
It's like a helpless turtle. Like,
Vanessa, turn me over.
Actually, we do say that around here, but did you really break your back?
oh man, you can't call in sick without some real
Not around here, man.
legit evidence.
You got to show up with x-rays.
Yeah, you need some real evidence.
Talking to the boss, okay, now right there, that's my E75.
Yeah,
and
right.
You can see the crack going through it.
I just want to share
Oh
over the
my
weekend.
gosh,
So
what
remember
was that?
a couple weeks ago we announced that Olive Garden has new menu items, like the largest, like chicken parmesan
This
and
weather
like
report is sponsored by Olive Garden.
stuffed
You're near
noodles.
Olive
Well, so we
You
went.
live your truth, girl. Tell us
No,
about
so
the
I
Olive
didn't eat
Garden
this one.
items.
However, my mother ordered it. Look at the
looks
large
amazing.
spaghetti with the meatball.
Holy,
Look at that.
That's a meatball the size
that
of a
endless?
baby's head.
No, it's not endless. So
Okay,
look,
that
look
looks
at the picture.
incredible.
So we had, my mom's like, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. So we were like, no way. Because my mom's tiny, you know?
Yeah,
so,
but-
they
I
brought
look
out
much handsomer with a meatball.
the
over my
big
head.
meatball with spaghetti. She took half of it home for later.
no kidding.
But yeah, so I was like, oh, I have to share this.
That looks amazing.
You know,
talked about
I
it.
lived in the East Coast, up and down Boston. I've been to New York. I've eaten the real Italian food. I've been
Yeah.
to Rome. I've eaten there.
Right.
And I got to tell you, Vanessa, I've been to Olive Garden. It is delicious. It is the most amazing food, but it's not Italian. I
Yeah,
don't know
right.
what
But
it
see,
is.
this is the thing. We
don't know
don't
what-
go.
It's like from the old country. I
mean,
went
it
to
is
Rome.
good
This doesn't
food,
taste like Olive Garden.
But it's just like a family thing. We do it together.
I've done
you
it
know?
too. My family did
So-
in Albuquerque.
We've all been so busy, and we decided to get together. We're like, why don't we go to the Olive Garden? Because we love the Olive Garden. It's easy, you know?
It's family.
Yeah.
family.
It's
Like
When
the
you're
old
there-
country.
When you're there, you're family. I like Nick's Italian. They have the best vodka sauce I've ever tried.
Yes, Nick's, the penne.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
it's the best. Penne alla vodka?
Oh, yeah, the
Vodka.
vodka.
Nick's.
Delicious.
No, I don't think so.
That's for special
Your
people,
collective
Paul.
memory is better than mine.
I don't
Have I
think
eaten
so.
there? No,
It's
okay.
good, and they have
I
great
bet it's good,
pieces,
though.
Paul, Nick's is for special.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I didn't get invited.
Special night. That's for prom.
Take you there for happy hour. That's good. They
When
have
it's
pasta
cheap.
on the menu.
All right, guys, let's get down to brass tacks. Kind of a loose show format today, but we want to hear from you. What stresses you out? It's Monday morning. We've all got our Monday issues, right?
Yeah.
The Today Show's doing this big piece about stress and what stresses out Americans, and more importantly, how we can de-stress. They've got health guru Deepak Chopra on the show this morning.
Okay.
So in lieu of that, in our own special way, sans Deepak Chopra, he's nowhere to be found. We just want to know what stresses you out. Maybe we can vent a little in the comment section. Maybe we can make your day a little better if you've got something on your mind. So hop in and say hi.
I have
already-
to share this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. So it's a Facebook post. My girlfriend just posted this. Monday mornings are the best when you wake up late-ish, and as you're walking out the door, your 3-year-old decides he's not wearing clothes today. She goes, how do 3-year-olds run so fast? Like he took him out the door naked.
Grease lightning. Good luck catching him. There's nothing to grab onto.
That'll stress you out.
So that's a stressful Monday for her, for
Oh
sure.
my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Kids probably tack on just
Just
plenty of
kids,
stress
and then
for-
make a sub list under kids.
Parents, yeah, especially
Yeah.
trying to get out the door. My goodness, I can't even imagine. We were
good-
saying,
go ahead, sorry.
Go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say good morning to Charleston out in Tempe. Good morning to Vern and Russell and Din and you guys watching. Sky says sorry for the gender in specific pronoun. I had to squint at your profile picture. It is a he. Sky says he plays music or video games to de-stress.
I like, yeah,
De-stress.
music's good for de-stress. And then I was saying earlier, it's not about, because someone said, don't say work is the most stressful. I think it's trying to get enough rest ahead of the workday.
Right,
That is
yeah.
stressful. Because for this shift, it's easy to wake up at 2 a.m. It's hard to go to bed at 6 p.m. That's the difficult
I don't
part.
even go to bed at 6 p.m.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know how
Like,
you even
that's
do
how
that.
you would have to
Yeah.
to get 8 hours of sleep, which who's really getting that?
Well, it's stressful for us because we're trying. You still have to live your personal life, right? And do
Yeah.
everything else and get everything
Try to.
done. And it's like there's not enough time to sleep.
No, there isn't.
You know?
Stress is right there. It's in your head.
Oh,
can get
it's
rid of
all
it.
in your head.
You want stress? Go live in Syria right now, where they're blowing up bombs, and you don't know where you're going to get your water out. And you don't know if your kid's going to make it today. That's stress.
No one can argue that.
Life's good here.
Yeah, well,
by the way,
you
this
gotta
is
count your lucky stars.
Jackie Schultz is watching. She's one of our old reporters. Her little thing about Olive Garden.
Right? Yeah.
She
likes Olive Garden.
Yeah, she loves Olive Garden.
Wait, time out. Bring this in steady, Cam.
No.
It's the gift that I'm looking at. It's the my wife. I say that to Jimmy all the time.
I got that from you.
Okay.
Every time I mention my wife, he jumps in and says, "My wife."
I can't help it.
I'm just glad stay G-rated here.
Just glad some of the comedy's rubbing off.
Very good. No, I love it, man. I see.
Russ says being single stresses him out. Man, there's nothing to stress out about. You got no problems. You know what? You answer to you, my friend. That shouldn't stress you out at all.
We've tried hooking him up on here a few times.
Have we?
Yeah. There were two people that are like, I'm single. And they're like, I'm single too. I'm like, well, Russ, you and meet so-and-so. And then, they can start chit-chatting.
Love is in the air in the comments section.
My phone updated on its own overnight, and now none of my contacts are saved, so that's pretty stressful.
Oh, that is.
What?
I'm getting text messages, and I have to go review the whole conversation, which I don't want to do, to figure out who it is.
Jeez, throw me under the bus like that.
That's weird.
No, that'll happen, though. I actually lost a bunch of contacts, too.
It's awful.
It was an upgrade situation, and then there was like some sort of Apple ID sign-in. It's like advanced computer science stuff. Like, our kids are going to have to figure this stuff out for us one day. I'm getting to that point now where I just want to be like, Junior, figure this out. Mommy and Daddy lost all our numbers.
Could you help us get them back? You need to write them down, because what happens if something
don't you need to save them every once in a while on your computer?
That too.
Yeah, backup. Your backup. Yeah.
My son and his girlfriend got on our phones, and he says, you can see how far you've walked since you've had this phone.
It's true. Yeah, go to the health.
I did not know that. And so he showed it to me, and I found it in Rome one day. We walked 10 miles one day.
He's always reading.
And they do
travel.
Oh, Disney World, we walked 8.1 miles.
Oh, that's good. So then that's a good way to get
But it was in there. I didn't even know it was in there.
Yeah.
Amy says kids stress her out.
Oh, no kidding, Amy. I do that every time I'm in Vegas, by the way, Jimmy. I always check the health app to see how much I walked, because it makes me feel a little bit better about whatever I ate or drank.
About the nonstop alcohol consumption.
Well, I feel like trash, but I walked 8 miles, so I guess I'm healthy.
I couldn't gain weight when I was on vacation. That's why.
Yeah,
I was walking
too much.
Well, that's the best part. Cool. That's what I love about going over to San Diego in the summer, like a lot of locals here do. You go over there and you get, even if you stay a few blocks inland from the beach, you're walking to dinner, you're walking to breakfast, you're walking to happy hour.
I've been to San Diego.
Okay. Yeah.
We
gotta get you there this summer.
Yeah, especially once it gets hot. You gotta take me up to Flagstaff.
Diane says she just wants to retire.
Yes.
This is her out, not being able to retire.
When is it too early to retire?
Also, I don't know why you were asking me if I've been to San Diego. These guys would be a better judge of that than I am.
Well,
I just didn't know. He's never had a tamale before, so I was wondering if he's never been to San Diego.
Corrine says medical procedure stressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a blessing to have your health. So if there's something bothering you, yeah, that can be nagging for sure.
What else is stressful? Stressful is planning to go to the gym. Like, once you get there, you're fine.
It is
but
better
making
once
that
you get
move,
there.
you're like, what am I going to wear? First of all.
I got one, Vanessa. You got taxes.
Because you got to look nice when you go to the gym. There's
Oh, yeah, hold on. Wait a second.
Really
the ladies to
annoying.
our left are having some tax issues.
Oh my gosh, if there's an accountant out there with a good soul, please call me. I don't know what I did.
I need an accountant as well.
I tried to do my taxes last week, and I
Sounds like a
missed,
story time to me.
Well, I'm not involved in the graphic, but you can.
Okay, I'll share my one after. So we'll do it together.
Do we have it? There we go. A little music.
As promised.
The long short of it is, I forgot to add a really important document, and now I have to go and amend my federal taxes, and you have to mail those in. You can't do it an e-file. So now I have to print out 20 pages of documentation, send a check or money order to the IRS before they call me on the 15th.
How bad was this?
Why did
Really
you try
bad.
to screw the government, Rachel?
I didn't. I swear. I just try to do it myself because I don't have a tax person. And so at 30, I should have obviously hired someone and paid the money.
I pay
Yeah.
someone $150
I
a
pay
year,
someone-
and it's,
Oh my
it's worth the peace
gosh,
of mind.
yes.
It
Just
is
to get it over with.
expensive, but I mean, they take most of the stress out.
You take an envelope, right? And you write, like already I started 2019 for
Yeah.
this year. And anytime you get something, I could use this, maybe write it off. Maybe it's a real receipt. Put it in the envelope. Throw it back in there. At the end of the next year, open it up. You give the envelope to the accountant.
This is the first lesson in my life I'm learning the hard way.
Yeah.
I have to say. Everything else I've been pretty wise about, but this I should have hired.
Well, it does
professional
stress me
help.
out because it takes me a whole day because I do the same thing. I put all my receipts in files, but the thing is I have to add them all up. And then I put them out on a document for my tax person, and then I send it to them.
So
it's
you're
like,
the tax preparer.
pretty much.
See,
yeah.
some people have the wrong tax preparer because they should do all that stuff.
If I just sent her all those receipts, she'd probably go crazy.
Well, that's her job.
I know, but I
what
try
you're
to make
paying
it
her
a little
for.
easier.
But yeah.
So that's what I do, and so that it takes me a whole day to get it done, and so I've put it off and put it off. But obviously, I need to finish it today. That's been my goal. I'm gonna go work out, and I'm gonna do my taxes.
My accountant's
That's
good.
it.
Yeah.
He's real good. He'll get all that stuff.
Mine's not. He's kind of, I think he's ready to retire but can't yet. And so he kind of like, I can use the A word. He half butts it. He half butts it. Half-asses. He half-asses the return.
I mean,
I sent him a bunch of those
so
receipts one time. He calls me and he's like,
Does he want you to add them up?
yeah, well, no. He was just like, well, how much are we deducting? I was like, what are you talking about? I sent you a bunch of receipts, Al. Did you look at them? And he goes, you want me to read all these? And I was like,
no.
well, yeah, kind of.
See,
And we just ballparked it.
Oh,
What's a rounding error between friends?
between
You and me and the government?
IRS.
Yeah.
You know,
I've gotten calls from them. They're pretty easy to deal with. They're like, hey, we need such and such form. You would have gotten it from X organization or financial institution, and it was because I had changed companies within that calendar year. So anything that you had saved from previous, well, you got to get taxed on it. My stepfather goes, sweetheart, you have to pay taxes on that money. I'm like, duh.
anybody else doing their
did.
taxes late? And leave comments if you're still working on your taxes, or is it just?
What's free time? Yeah, no, it's not just us. There's, and then it was like, would you like to file for an extension? Obviously, I should have clicked yes, but
No, because then you have to pay fines and
it's fine. It's already happening anyway.
Oh, yo, Carol and St.
Just get an accountant. They'll fix it up. Let them do all the forms. It's worth it. Like Paul said, $150. You'll be fine.
Carolyn says party planning stresses her out.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I
Courtney
can't
making
host.
calls to pay bills and talking to robots.
Talking to robots is annoying.
And Maria, allergies killing her right now. Welcome to the club, Maria. Oh, miserable.
That was a fun way to start the show. I had said, oh, I don't feel so good. And he goes, did you take an allergy medication? And I said, yes. And he goes, but did you eat anything? I said, no, Dad.
That was it was a dad moment, but I diagnosed it on the first try, so give me a little credit.
And then I had a few cheesecake bites, and I feel just fine now.
Great breakfast.
Because cheesecake won the dessert bracket.
Yeah.
It did. Let's take a look at that, by the way.
Okay.
Our ICYMI, in case you missed it, in case you've been living in a hole since we started this thing 2-3 weeks ago, we've had this dessert bracket challenge running both in this show and on Today in AZ. And it was frantic at times to get all the bracket challenge figured out and to get the matchups actually in the shows. But we did it. And today we were left with the final two, milkshakes versus cheesecake. It was close all morning, 50-50 for most
It
of the
really
day,
was.
actually.
And
Cheesecake.
That's a hard one, though.
I mean,
Tough, though.
it just depends on the mood and kind of what you had. Like if I'm having a burger, I'd also like to have a milkshake.
Right.
If I'm having like an entree, maybe at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
I'd like a piece of cheesecake to follow that up. Nothing goes better with heavy pasta than heavy dessert.
We skipped dessert yesterday. I was proud of us.
Oh, see, that
we all
is
skipped
good.
it.
Should we go get the cheesecake milkshake out of the freezer?
Oh,
Is it still
I'm
there?
passing.
You're passing? We're
Yeah,
gonna pass?
I don't really care to have any more of that. Oh, I think she thinks the producers took it.
Oh, that's okay. The
Good for
producers
them.
deserve
If
it.
somebody can, I applaud anyone that can just take food in this joint and eat it.
You know, one time we had a guy who snuck Jet's Pizza right out of the break
How many
room.
times have we
We've told this story 50
was
times.
I didn't know it was balls.
story
You guys don't
It's the open of
understand.
the show.
That Jet's Pizza
You know that
originated
one
in
time
my
Jimmy
hood.
took the pizza.
Go ahead.
Ball
There's another wrinkle to the story, actually. Rachel's adding context.
But that's the truth. So the pizza was ordered specifically so that I could taste it because this one, all he did was talk about it. And I'm like, how could it be that good?
True.
Yeah.
But then if it comes all the way from Michigan to Arizona, then it's got to be something.
So also you were a home wrecker. I was trying to introduce Rachel, a woman I care about very much.
Yeah, I know.
To one of the finest
term.
pizzas from my home country. And I put it in the fridge, assuming that it would be safe.
Go.
It was our pizza, Jimmy.
I'll never
It wasn't
forget.
my pizza, it was ours.
Was it anything
I'll
like
never
European
forget when Vanessa
pizza?
ratted me out.
I know, so that's why I feel bad because Paul was sitting at the desk and then Jimmy comes in with the pizza. I'm like, that smells good. I want some pizza. And then
Paul
Paul
goes,
perks up and goes, what? Where did you get that pizza?
Paul put his pizza in a common area. A common area in the newsroom where everyone can just all you can eat. and you put
Jimmy's
his
not
name
wrong
on
about
it.
that. If there's food in the break
In the
room,
common
fridge,
area.
the freezer, the common areas,
And it's-
typically by the
yeah.
microwave, which is set up for
Because
success.
they buy
right
pizzas
there.
all the time here, and they just throw them in the
It's true.
refrigerator.
Oh my gosh, the next day you come in and there's
Yeah.
there's food all over, and you're like, what is the night shift doing?
Yeah, or if we have a guest in and they'll bring, say, from the
There you go.
pizza joint, the pizza parlor up the street, here's 5 extras. The
Right.
crew will eat it and they throw it in there. So
Yeah.
I said, hey, they must add Jets in here. That's awesome. This is
Jimmy's like,
great.
I never heard of this.
And it must be really good because there's only about 5 pieces left.
What's funny is that he went out to the garage before the show started at 4:30 and brought it in so it wouldn't go bad.
I
in the
accidentally
car.
left it in my car.
Now he wishes it would have gone bad.
Right.
I'd have been all, ooh.
Oh, the best is Vanessa ratting him out. And you always bring in Italian food.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you guys have brought pasta and pizza. Thanks.
She gives food to everybody.
I bring the extras, or like sometimes, you know, you can get an extra plate and you don't eat it, so then I bring it here so that way I don't eat it all.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Sometimes you need a reminder as to why you don't eat other people's stuff. We had Monica Garcia eat some display-only meatballs that were hanging out in a common area that had been out for a couple days.
Oh,
actually.
that's right. I
She
heard
just
about
helped
that.
herself, as is often the way that people conduct themselves in this place, and she paid the price.
I think they had to close one of the restrooms here. Yeah.
It was a hazmat situation.
Yeah, it's a big, they had the cones up and everything and the crime tape.
She'll tell you
couldn't
too.
get
She's
through.
like, she'll bring food back from one of her live shots that she's done, and she'll be like, "Okay, this food is fresh." Like now she's looking after everybody because she doesn't want anyone to.
That's a
experience
stressful
that.
moment when you're trying. You have to, let's say, use the restroom. Number 1, number 2, whatever, and you're stuck in traffic or you're not home yet. I'm like, oh, that can be stressful.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
people, you know what I did? It's funny that you say that because I was behind a little, the toaster cars. It was like a Jeep. Anyway, on the back, it had a bumper sticker that said, "Honk if you have to poop."
I'll move out of the way.
Did you buy that bumper sticker? Because you got ripped off.
Came with the ride. John says pizza's always fair game. I'm on Jimmy's side.
Okay.
You know what? And again, in the communal fridge.
Maria, food. Now you've got my attention.
Yes.
Oh, we love food.
Quick shout out to Susan, loving retirement out in Arizona, going on long walks and hanging out at the pool every day.
Nice.
Bravo, you deserve it. Carl says getting chemo treatment stresses him out. Carl, our thoughts are with you, man. I hope you
That's
feel better
awful.
soon.
That's a rough.
You see, there are people with bigger problems. I always
Right.
think about that. So
Right.
our stress is nothing.
No, it really isn't. It's
I
all-
think about
it's
that all the
just-
time. A couple weeks ago, my cousin was stressing. Her little boy, he's in like T-ball.
Yeah.
And he's 6, 7, right?
Sure.
Little. She calls me and she's like, "I'm so mad. They put him as a catcher and he's not playing." And blah blah blah. Like really pissed. And I'm like, "Girlfriend, there are so many other things to be stressing about." I'm like, "It's a little kid's game. He's not playing in the majors. Like you're good."
And the odds are they never will even have a chance to even play in high school, much less the majors.
And I'm sorry, when you're 6, how do you know what position he plays? He might not even play baseball at all at 6.
You ever
That's
watch
what I-
T-ball? It's chaos. There's
Yeah,
not
they're just
positions.
running everywhere.
Let them have fun. Let them be kids.
That's what I told her. So
Tiredness.
it's funny. You got to remind people sometimes. Look, there's bigger things to worry about.
I went through that. Trust me.
Calm down.
Namaste,
They're the
right
parents.
there.
Hey, how you doing, Paul? See my boy out there. He's going to play pro.
Yeah.
We already
sure
got pro scouts looking at him already. My best friend, he played in the minors.
You
He's
know
already
what?
coaching him.
Can I tell you a baseball
my
story
kids
I've
play
never
golf.
told anybody?
No, let's hear it.
What?
You don't have to run the graphic again, but you can if you want to.
Is this the one where you got hit in the nuts?
No.
Ooh, that
I know
was
it's one of your
good.
favorites as far as my stories go.
Happens more often than
This
you
is a
think.
quick one. This was, so I played baseball for 10 years. This is Little League, probably 12 years old.
No way. Okay.
And I was a big boy. I was a big kid on the team. They made me play catcher because I was the biggest backstop. Less likely the balls were going to get past the big kid, right?
Logical reason to do
But
so.
there was always a time when you were a little old for your age group. You were in like, let's say if it was 10 to 12 was the age group. If you're a 12-year-old, that was your year to dominate the younger
Sure.
kids, right?
Yeah.
So whatever the situation was, I think I was on the older end of the age group. We had a game against a team that I knew was bad. And so there was this girl I really liked in middle school, I think. It might have even been, 6th grade or something like
Wait,
that.
side note, all of his stories include girls that he likes.
I know.
Throwing
Go ahead.
carrots
It's
at
been it's been a
healthy
recurring theme in my
heterosexual,
life,
that's
Jimmy.
all.
Sharing
And then they
pizza.
come and they go.
Many loves, in and out, yeah. Anyway, so
So domination.
I was going to ask Jessica to come to this game to watch us
Sure.
play against the bad team to make us look good, right?
Yeah.
I chickened out, as is another recurring theme in my story when I have to talk to girls.
He threw candy in a girl's face.
Yeah, that's
once.
another
I thought
story.
it was a
we tell
carrot
on
or
the
something.
show. Anyway, she doesn't come. My first at bat in the first inning. This is in my head still. I should have invited Jessica to this game. We're up like 7-0. at this
Oh,
point in
yeah,
the
you
first
already
inning.
got your-
Bases chocked for the big fella, stepping up to the dish. I swear to God, I had the thought of calling my shot. I had a Babe Ruth moment where I was like, I'm going to point at the fence.
Nobody does that, but yeah.
I thought about doing it. I came this close as I did to inviting Jessica to the game.
Ham the Babe Porter.
First pitch, mashed it. Long ball. My only outside of the park home run in all of Little League, a grand slam over the big wall in Little League. And she wasn't there to see it. So now it's just a story.
Did you tell her about it at least?
No, probably
It
not,
wasn't worth
no.
telling.
Where's Jessica now?
Probably happily married and far, far away from this guy.
She married a baseball player that went on to the majors.
Yeah.
That's crazy crazy because you guys probably
She went to one
run
of his
ruled them
games.
after
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it took.
Oh, well,
What's that?
You run ruled the other team likely.
I
after
did.
That.
My run
Yeah.
didn't even count because it was a 10-run mercy
Yeah,
rule. So
I-
my grand slam home run. Fun fact: my run didn't count against the final score.
I mean, that has to be a true story because it all adds up. 7-0
Yeah.
going in.
That-
grand
that
slam,
happened to me
fourth run
twice.
Doesn't count. 10-0 run rule.
2 grand slams in front of no girls.
No,
Oh.
2 great performances. 2 great Well, that's another story. Two great performances with a girl. Once was in football, caught a touchdown. Once was in track, another girl
No kidding.
won the race. Did nothing for me. If it'll make you feel
Oh,
better.
okay.
Okay, I didn't
Because you have
help
nothing
out.
to talk about.
Yeah.
Because all you talk about is that, for the first
one.
20 minutes, and you're like, oh, I felt great running the race. It was good.
Yeah.
5 hours later, oh yeah, so I guess
Remember
I'll talk
that
to you
race from
later.
earlier?
You know? Nothing else. Same with the football. That was a great touchdown. Thank you.
Guess I'll talk to you later.
Nothing else.
Oh.
Side note, I want to point out how nice our viewers are.
Yes.
No, I was just gonna say that. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Good.
Show us some love.
They're showing some love to Carl, who said he gets stressed out for chemo treatments. And so Russell has commented, Benny's commented, and they're giving you some positive thoughts your way during this time.
Yeah. Show some love to Carl down in the comment section. Way to go, people. Way to be good humans on a Monday.
It is it's very nice to see that finally in the comment section.
Let's do some
Nice
fresh squeeze
interactions.
juice as we head out, by the
Yes,
way.
why
Go ahead,
not?
Paul.
Oh, I gotta read it?
Well, I'll do it.
Well, your thing.
You
Here.
roll it for me.
Okay.
Thank you. It's time for some freshly squeezed juice this morning, which is all about the queen bee. It looks like a Beyonce documentary may be popping up on Netflix as early as next week.
What?
The video streaming giant, tweeted a tease last night that simply said, Homecoming. While Netflix hasn't directly said Homecoming is about Beyonce, she does have a fashion line called Homecoming, and the items feature Greek letters. The project will be available April 17th, which is my little sister's birthday. No relevance to the conversation here, but
Why
still.
are the Greek letters relevant? Is Beyonce big in the Greek community?
Maybe she was a
maybe?
sorority
She's
girl.
a sorority girl.
Okay.
Was she?
I don't
Never
recall.
have I
Yeah,
ever.
all of us are
I gotta
like,
call
"Oh."
her up and ask her.
Queen Bee. I mean, who's not trying to get Beyonce to do something, you know? She's all over the place.
She is all over.
What are you guys watching on Netflix right now?
The OA. Oh, it's so good.
The OA?
Yeah, it's just called The OA. It's fantastic.
I thought it was the
The AO.
OA.
I can't remember what I just watched. Dang, it, now it's gonna
Ted
bother
Bundy
me.
tapes.
You still?
No, I
love
stopped
serial
watching
killers.
that.
Oh yeah, serial killers just fascinate me.
Friends from College is really good with, what is his name? The guy from Key and Peele.
Oh, I've seen that one. That
I
was
like that.
funny.
I like that show.
Yeah,
Keel?
that one's funny.
Keel.
Peele.
There was
That's
what
Kel,
was there one?
actually.
How far are you on? Where like the SUV goes in the pool?
Right, I finished both season 1 and 2. It's just a good, they're just short shows, so they're easy to fall asleep to.
Quick to
Take a nap
digest.
in the
Yeah.
afternoon or something, maybe late at night, whatever the case is.
You want to say goodbye to the people? Are we done?
We're gonna say
We done?
goodbye. You say goodbye.
I say hello.
It's
So long,
Monday. We're
farewell.
halfway
Oldie,
there.
you say goodbye.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Sue, looking for some love in the comments too. A little late edition. Sue, I hope your grandson is feeling better soon. Thanks for stopping by and being a part of the conversation. Whatever's stressing you out, I hope it's taken off your chest a little bit today. I hope
Yeah.
your work week is all downhill from here. 7:30 tomorrow, same place, same time, Knuckleheads.
Have a fabulous Monday.
Bruce Fraba. So good, that was close.